Deep in the archives, surrounded by dust and silence, we found a chapter. What if I told you that in parts of the ancient Greek world, privacy on the toilet simply didn't exist, and that the idea of strictly male and female bathrooms is actually a modern invention? Let's open today's forgotten page. When we picture ancient Greece, we think of marble temples, philosophers in white robes, maybe a heroic statue or two. We don't usually think about where everybody pooped, but daily life leaves traces, and archaeologists have literally dug through them. In cities across the Greek world, from mainland Greece to places like Ephesus and the later Roman Agora in Athens, they've uncovered rows of stone or marble seats all side by side with no walls, no doors, and no privacy at all. These were the public latrines, toilets you entered like a small hall. You'd sit shoulder to shoulder with strangers, and under your feet, a channel of running water carried everything away. Above that, another shallow channel let you swish a sponge or clean your hands. So, were these spaces actually mixed? Here's where it gets messy, historically, not physically. Most written sources from Greece focus on men. We know that Greek society often separated male and female spaces inside the home, the andron for the men, the gynekonitis for the women. Women of citizen families especially were expected to stay more in the private sphere. But outside the house, things get more complicated. Public baths and wash houses sometimes used a simple trick instead of separate rooms, separate hours. Men in the mornings, women later in the day, or the other way around. And for public toilets, scholars suspect something similar. The architecture we found doesn't clearly divide spaces by gender, and there are no big men and women inscriptions carved in marble. Instead, people probably relied on custom, which neighborhood used which toilets, and at what time. That means that in practice, at least sometimes, men and women may have shared the same room, just not necessarily at the same moment. To us, the idea of sitting in a long, open room on a stone bench with holes in it, talking politics while someone on your left and right is very busy, feels absolutely wild. But in antiquity, the rules were different. Privacy wasn't about having your own locked cubicle. It was about who was allowed to see you and under what circumstances. Sharing a latrine with other citizens, slaves, or travelers, all doing exactly the same thing, was less shocking than you might think. These places were noisy, social, and sometimes even political. In some ancient cities, latrines are described as spaces where news and gossip flowed as freely as the water, and Greek cities tied into the same Mediterranean culture likely weren't that different. And here's the twist. Strict gender-segregated bathrooms, as we know them today, only really appeared much, much later, in early modern and especially Victorian Europe. Before that, separation by gender was far from universal. So did the ancient Greeks have mixed public toilets? If you go back in time and walk into one of these latrines, you wouldn't see neat rows of blue and pink symbols. You'd see a single room, one long bench, and a lot of people pretending nothing unusual is happening. The seats themselves weren't gendered. The building wasn't gendered. Only the social rules, who went when and with whom, tried to impose a kind of separation. So the honest answer is yes and no. The space was shared. The experience was communal. But the actual mix of men and women depended on time of day, local custom, and social class, things our evidence only lets us glimpse through cracks in the stone. What else has history forgotten? Find out by clicking subscribe and activating the bell. We'll see you in the next Forgotten Pages.